the book of Jeremiah 9 and starting with verse 22. And it said, "Speak, thus said the Lord Yahweh Shemai Shai, even the carcass of men shall fall as dung upon the open field, and as the handful after the harvestmen, and none shall gather them. Thus said the Lord Yahweh Shemai Shai, let not the wise man glory in his wisdom, neither let the mighty man glory in his might. Let not the rich man glory in his riches, but let him that glorieth in those that he understandeth and knoweth me, that I am the Lord Yahweh Shemai Shai, which exercises loving kindness, judgment, and righteousness in the earth. For in these things I delight, said the Lord Yahweh Shemai Shai." Now today, brothers and sisters, in this truth, I'm going to go into what you're seeing up here. What has taken place in the last 48 hours is that this devil has approved, something called the chip bill. Now, we've been talking about this and we know where this is going to lead to. Now, I put a PowerPoint together based on the scriptures and what we know from the headline of things that is currently going on and what has happened in the previous 2 years and what is to come. We've got an idea of how to be prepared for this. Of course, we have to have the Spirit of the Lord Yahweh Shemai Shai on us to keep us in this truth, and that hedge of protection over us in the house of David as we go through this. But for those of you who are just new to this, you're going to your eyes is going to be open because you're probably still halfway in the world and halfway in this truth. But before we get started here, I'd like to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to teachers, elders, and apostles of Great Millstone. Also to you brothers out there that put on this truth faithfully, fearlessly, feeding the sheep. Shalom. Now I open up with the book of Jeremiah 9, starting verse 22, which talked about what? That the carcass of man is going to fall like dung in the open field, which is this earth, which is this great city here, Babylon, that we're living in, and nobody was going to be gathering them. Why? Because as you see right now, what is going to take place, with this bill that has been passed, by Congress, this is going to lead into a period of tribulation in Great Babylon, America, that we have never could even begin to imagine. So the scriptures really bring out a vivid idea of a vivid view of what this looks like, and we can go back into history and see, throughout the civil wars and the other calamities that's taken place across the earth and what we've seen on the news of how this may look here, because we've never seen this here in America. And it says, "Thus said the Lord Yahweh Shemai Shai, let not the wise man glory in his wisdom." This is talking about these doggone people out there who are soothsayers. These people out there that, in one respect, they put out in the news media that you have, this future, but you also have this calamity that's going on. You have an economic crisis, but at the same time, these Edomites are going to, the wise of these Edomites are going to fix it. So, of course, they are divided and they speak with a forked tongue. None of them know what the next one is doing. Why? Because cavemen don't trust each other, There's a great divide here, left wing, right wing, so forth, so forth. And it says, neither let the mighty man glory in his might, Now, you've got the National Guards, and every state has a National Guard. You have a commander over them, which is the governor of that state that commands these National Guard. And then you have the federal, service, which commands all of the branches of the military, which there's 6 of them, including the one that they call the Space Force, And in a time of great emergency, the President of the United States is the Commander-in-Chief who can activate the National Guard also too, And they can go under Title 10. And it says, let not the rich man glory in his riches. These people who now can eat, gas prices don't affect them, the inflation don't affect them, none is affecting them at all. Right there, may have a sense of what? They may have a sense of boasting. Hey, this is not impacting me. There are jakes who this is not impacting at all. This man in this truth who are not really being impacted as some other man in this truth, or other women, men and women in this truth, might not be going through the same type of hell as the other brother is going through, But you can't boast into that, because why? As I said earlier, man carcass shall fall as dung in the open field. So that's telling you that there's going to be a great tribulation that's going to be coming, that's going to create a lot of debt, So much so that nobody's going to be able to bury him. And it says, but let him that glory in this, that he understand and know it me, that I am the Lord Yahweh Shemai Shai, that exercises loving kindness, judgment, and righteousness in the earth. For in these things I delight, said the Lord. The Lord delight in putting people to death, judgment, and mercy he delights in righteousness. This is what you will see is what, you know, we of the hopeful elect are trying to do it. And so now I'm going to play this video. Okay, and then we're going to move into some more scriptures. Okay, and then I'm going to go into this PowerPoint that I put together. So let's play this little video here. Okay, stand by. Now, in this video, when you take a look at this, okay, I put together all the pieces of the different headlines that you see out there, okay, and how this is connected to what we know is going to be eventually the MOTB. And who do you see spearheading this is none other than the devil himself, okay? Okay, and so that's what you see coming in. Now, let's go into this, right here. We're going to go into this PowerPoint here that I put together, and we're going to take a look at this. And so let's start off with this part right here. So when you take a look at this, okay, you see here how this devil has been working. Hopefully you can see the mouse here. Okay, so this devil, okay, start off with this, what you call the C-19, okay, which they claim that started out in China. Okay, so China itself, Moab, is playing its role right now, okay, pursuing, going into the prophecies that we see happening right now, taking place. Now we know the ultimate target, which is what? The untouchables. And who are the untouchables? The elect of Israel. Yes, that's right. The elect of Israel are the untouchable to this man Esau. Okay, and that's really what this target is all about. So now what this devil has done is basically he started out with this, okay, for 2 years. Okay, they locked down these different countries. Okay. And what happened was an economic fallout, okay? Which that one third that fell out was all these countries that actually fell victim, okay, to these lockdowns, okay, the shortages of food, okay, supplies and materials. And also when you take a look at Great Babylon here, that's the exact same thing that happened here, which impacted heavily the lower class, okay, and the middle class population that's here, losing their businesses, their life's work, okay, their jobs and everything like that, which we know eventually what the devil you see right here, okay, you know, put it out there that everybody would have to do what? Bow down to what they brought out as a solution. Before we go any further here, let's go into the book of Psalms 2 and start verse 1 that says, why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord, Yahweh Shemashah, and against his anointed, saying, let us break them asunder and cast away their cords from us. He that sit in the heavens shall laugh, and the Lord should have them in derision, which that derision we are going to see coming here, which is that confusion that is going to be going on here. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the target was the untouchables, which is the hopefully elect of Israel. Now, you take a look here, okay. Right now, China, and I bought videos out there about it in regards to that they're doing the blame game now with China, which of course China, okay, Moab, they're playing their role, okay. All of these governments, okay, Psalms 2 verse 1 made it very careful. It says the kings, verse 2 says the kings of the earth. It didn't say the king of Babylon. It said the kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed. Which means what? This is a conglomerate thing here. So this isn't just the United States. This isn't just Great Babylon, okay, America, or Great Britain, or the European Union. No, this is all the kings of the earth. This includes Moab, Ammon, okay, which is Japan, okay, China, okay, Africa, those African nations. All of these nations are all in cahoots together to go and target who? The untouchables, the hopefully elect. They already got the 2/3. So here it is. You had this 1/3 economic fallout, okay, across the earth, okay, and in here in Great Babylon, America, you had that happen to up to the middle class, because you know you've got these different classes. You get the ultra rich, and then right now, what you see going on here. Now I open up with what the chip, okay, policy that they have right now, in which they are going to use. They're going to go into great production of these microchips, okay, which semiconductors. Now I went to the Intel website today, and let's take a look at this Intel website. I went to the Intel website, and if you take a look at the Intel, okay, makes a lot of these semiconductor chips here. Okay, and they're posting positive gains. Now let's take a look at this. Okay, they are posting positive gains. Okay, so that means that that's their business. Their business is semiconductor. That's what they do. So there's never been a shortage of chips as they speak. China makes their own chip. Okay, All these countries make Japan makes their own chip. Fujitsu, Fuji, all of them. Those are companies that make these. They make their chips in Japan. Okay, and then you have AMD, which is Intel's biggest competitor here in the United States. Okay, that makes chips for service. Okay, and if you know what a server is what they're not like these regular computers that we deal with. These servers, okay, they power those mainframe computers. Okay, that actually is going to be what they're going to be using when they bring out the MOTB. Okay, you need to have powerful computers. So right now, what they're doing, okay, is they have a proxy war that's going on with Russia. Okay, remember this is what they're doing right now. This is what the crafty council that they're taking together right now. They have a proxy war, which we see really no footage of, which is strange. Okay, at the same time they're blaming China, who's playing their role. Okay, with what happened in Wuhan a couple years ago. At the same time, what you have is inflation. Okay, this is the inflation here. What is impacted with this inflation? Food, okay, petroleum costs, okay, and materials to build houses or to do anything. Okay, so those are heavily impacted. Okay, at the same time, they have something called the monkey pox going on. Okay, which is what? This is a variation of these illnesses and these diseases that's now plaguing, okay, not only Great Babylon America, but this entire earth. But we're going to focus on Great Babylon America, okay? And this is also in a way that they could push their serum, okay? And it's also creating fear. Because remember, they already got almost nearly 60% of the population here in Great Babylon America, okay, to bow down, okay, to the previous fear mongering that they brought out with this C-19, okay, that took place. So now you have all of this going on at the same time, okay, the blame game, okay, and you also have the blame game, okay, and you have, okay, the inflation, and you have the MP that's going on. Let's go into another scripture here. This is the book of 2nd Esdras 15, starting with verse 16. And it says, Salakia, starting verse 15, it says, "For the sword and the destruction draweth now, one people should stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hand." Now, it says against another. This isn't only going to be just Egyptians against Egyptians, or Edomites against Edomites, or Israelites against Israelites, okay, or the Edomites against Israelites. No, we have 18 nations that's here in Great Babylon, America. 18 nations, okay. Let me continue on here, and it says, "For there shall be seditions amongst men, invading one another, and they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the cause of their action shall stand their power." Now, this is going to be a global catastrophe that's going to be going on, and this is what the plan is right here. But we're going to go and look at who is really spearheading this. And we know right now, Great Babylon America, they're spearheading this, okay? The so-called white man is spearheading this. So now, in order for this year, which is the MOTB, which is going to come out, okay, from this unprecedented, okay, supposed to be production of semiconductors, which I've already brought up to you, that stocks are very high with Intel and AMD and all these other semiconductor industries, companies, okay, telling you what, there's never been a shortage. Everything runs with chips. So if there was, you wouldn't have a new cars and all the other things that is coming out. Yet still they continue pumping out new phones, new cars, new everything. Why? Because there's no shortage. Okay, so this is our cover right here. Now remember, we get this distraction going on now. The current distraction, inflation, okay, and these pestilence, and we still have the blame game going on, and also we still have the C-19 that's still in the back, and the proxy war that's going on. Now here's what the biggest ultimate, okay, plan is here. Now, in order for them to push their agenda forward, they need unprecedented violence here in Great Babylon, and that's what I just read to you, 2nd Esdras 15, verse 15, okay? Because it says that people are going to stand up against each other. Now, as I said, 18 nations are in warfare. So these smaller nations that are here, like the Moabites and Ammonites, okay, the Ishmaelites and the Hamites and all those like that, they're in for hell, okay? They're in for hell, because their population is not the size of the Hebrew Israelites here, okay? I'm including the 2/3, okay, and nowhere the size of the Edomites that are here. Now these people are not going to be fighting because, well, they have the lockdown, which we know that lockdown is going to come. Because why? The World Health Organization, okay, has now taken over, okay, dealing with what is going on here with this pestilence, okay? And there is going to be a lockdown that's coming, but this lockdown is not going to be taken, okay, the same way that it took the first time. As you can see here, these people have a distrust. They're talking about Civil War II, okay, insurrections, okay, and they are going to stand up, okay. Second Esdras is going to come here. It must take place here, okay, in order for this to occur. So what is it? Chaos, order out of chaos, and you need, this is going to be the chaos part right here. So this is now started, okay. So this will have you worried, okay, if you're not in this truth and know how to hedge your protection, because this is going to take place next. Civil War II, okay. These other nations that are here, that are smaller in numbers, they're going to be heavy casualty amongst them, okay. And a lot of them are doing war bites, okay. The Chinese and the other Asians that are over here in the countries in this nation, okay, the poster child of the the minorities who do well, okay. That's going to backfire on them, okay. People are going to see them. The poor is going to view them, okay. These poor Edomites, these poor Jakes are going to view them as targets because they're doing well. They look like they got, they drive around nice cars and everything like that. And these people are not used to violence. Okay? There's going to be a shocking thing, revelation to these people when they go through this tribulation, because they're not used to the kind of violence that often occur. So you're going to see here, okay, these Edomites are going to stand up against the government. Everybody's going to stand up against the government, because what the ultimate thing here for these devil is to get a lot of this dead bodies, okay? Why? You have this dead bodies. This is going to be a cry from the people, okay, for a solution. And that solution is coming from the book of Revelations, okay, the book of Revelations 13, verse 16, he says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead, and that no man might buy or sell, save he had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Okay, so after having all of this chaos, okay, having all of this unprecedented violence, unprecedented poverty that's going to go into this basically the total demise of what we know as Great Babylon America right now, okay? Going out to the movies, going out for dinner, having picnics and all of that stuff, walking around knowing that you can dial 911 to come and rescue you. That's all gone, okay? And out of the ashes of this is going to be this. This is going to be the new society. And if you do not comply with this, okay, there's all these FEMA camps that are around waiting. They're built. They're real. Walmart made sure to give all of those distribution centers that they had, okay, that they conveniently closed down over the years, okay, and there's about around 800 of them, and they're all over this country, okay, with wires around them, and they have special, contract security that are there, people that you don't know of, okay. These are jobs that are not advertised, okay. So believe it or not, they have some serious firepower and some really wicked people that they've bought overseas. Any of you have ever been deployed, you to see all kinds of different kinds of people that's on the base. So that tells you that they can find people all over this earth that's willing to come over here and put, okay, Babylonians to death, okay? And eventually, this is when this occur, this is going to lead to Jacob trouble. Because why? You're going to have the untouchables that are not going to be a part of this, okay? And we're going to have to be as pilgrims. And then you're going to have the other Jakes out there that are not part of the untouchables, okay, the hopefully elect, that are going to have to make that decision. And we know the ultimate cost and price for making the wrong decision. But they've been, from the beginning, okay, by the Lord Yahweh Shimi Ashai, okay, set to go and accept the proposition that Esau is going to make to him. Okay, and that is going to be the demise of him. So I just wanted to bring this out here. I could really go a long time with this, and breaking this down in details. But I know the attention span of Jake is all about 3 or 4 minutes. So I'll get back to this at another time as more information come by, and we'll take a look at it. Okay, so I'd like to close up by giving all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Double honor to the teachers, elders, and apostles of Great Millstone. Also to you brothers that are putting on the truth faithfully, fearlessly feeding the sheep, and to you brothers and sisters that are tuning in. Shalom.